Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master Coin Lovers, Treasure Hunters, and all curious minds who are fascinated by the incredible world of rare United States coins. In today's thrilling journey, we are about to unveil the shocking and awe-inspiring story of a tiny coin that many people overlook every single day, a coin that's barely worth a dime, literally. But today, that same dime becomes the star of an unbelievable story. It's the 2001 P. Roosevelt dime from the United States Mint. And believe it or not, one of these seemingly ordinary coins has fetched a jaw-dropping value of over $4 million. Yes, you've heard that right, $4 million for a coin whose face value is just 10 cents. So sit back, grab your favorite seat, and buckle up, because what you're about to hear will make you rethink every single coin in your pocket change. Now, imagine you're holding a handful of dimes, looking at the year, and you see 2001, and a tiny P under the date. You toss it in a jar, maybe even use it to pay for a coffee or parking meter, without knowing that one of those 2001 P dimes could be a millionaire maker. That little mint mark, just one letter P, represents the Philadelphia Mint, and this is where our story begins. But there's something very special about certain coins minted in that year. In 2001, a rare error occurred during the production of Roosevelt dimes, and that error has made some of these coins not just collectible, but almost priceless. To understand why the 2001 P dime can be so valuable, we need to go deep into the world of minting processes, the nature of mint errors, collector psychology, and the rare chance that a coin with flaws can become more perfect to collectors than the flawless ones. The coin in question might look like any ordinary Roosevelt dime, Franklin D. Roosevelt's face on the obverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. But if you look closer, you begin to see the hidden secrets, errors that slip through unnoticed, defects that turn into treasures, and minting oddities that turn metal into gold, figuratively, and sometimes quite literally. Let's talk about the types of errors that can occur at the US Mint. Generally, a coin error is any deviation from the normal minting process. This can include die errors, planchet errors, striking errors, and a combination of all three. In the case of the 2001 P dime, the errors were so significant and rare that professional coin grading services and experts recognized its uniqueness almost instantly. One of the most famous examples involved a misaligned die strike, where the design was off-center, and yet the coin was still nearly perfectly preserved. Another involved a double die error, where parts of the design, such as the lettering, date, or even Roosevelt's profile, appear twice or with a ghost-like shadow. These types of doubling errors are highly sought after in the numismatic community. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the country, produces billions of coins every year. Mistakes are rare, but when they happen, especially in a modern coin like the 2001 P dime, they tend to stand out dramatically. That's because technology today makes it much harder for errors to occur unnoticed. So when they do slip through the cracks, they are often spectacular. In one specific instance, a 2001 P dime was discovered with a full brockage error on the obverse side. For those who aren't familiar, a brockage occurs when a previously struck coin sticks to a die and then impresses its mirrored image onto the next blank planchet. The result is a dramatic and visually striking coin that collectors go crazy over. There are also reports of off-metal strikes where a dime was struck on a planchet meant for a foreign coin or another denomination altogether. Imagine finding a dime that struck on a penny planchet, wrong metal, wrong weight, wrong color. These types of errors are known as wrong planchet errors, and they often become legendary. There have also been rumors and unconfirmed reports of 2001 P dimes missing mint marks altogether, which would be incredibly strange for a Philadelphia coin from that year, and would only add to its rarity and market value. But it's not just the error alone that makes the 2001 P dime so incredibly valuable. It's also the condition of the coin. Coin grading plays a major role in determining the market price of rare coins. Professional graders use a 70-point scale, where a coin graded MS-70 is considered perfect mint state. If a 2001 P error dime is found in pristine condition, with full luster, clean fields, sharp details, and minimal contact marks, it can skyrocket in value. In fact, the coin that sold for over $4 million was not just an error coin. It was a mint-state gem with extraordinary visual appeal. It's that combination of rarity, error, and near-perfect preservation that turned a 10-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar treasure. What's even more fascinating is the mystery surrounding how such an error was even allowed to leave the mint. With today's advanced inspection technologies, automated sorting, and quality control measures, the odds of a major error coin getting out are incredibly slim. Some collectors even speculate that certain rare coins are the result of intentional mint worker actions, what are known in the community as intentional error releases. These are surrounded by controversy, but the possibility only adds to the mystique and market value of the coin. Now let's talk about demand. The numismatic market is driven by rarity and demand. If there's only one known 2001p dime with a particular error, and multiple collectors want it for their registry sets or private collections, the bidding can become fierce. At auction, such a coin doesn't have a fixed price, it has an emotional price. Bidders are not just paying for a piece of metal, they're paying for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the story behind the coin, and bragging rights in the collector community. That's how a 10-cent piece becomes worth more than a luxury home or a Ferrari. There are countless stories of average people discovering rare coins in their pocket change, junk drawers, or inherited coin jars from grandparents. One day you're casually sorting through old change, and the next you realize you're holding a $4 million fortune in the palm of your hand. That dream is what fuels the passion of collectors everywhere. It's what keeps people searching coin rolls, attending coin shows, buying coin books, and learning about mint marks, die varieties, and diagnostic features of rare coins. And the 2001p dime is now part of that legend. You might be wondering, how can you know if the 2001p dime you have is worth anything? The first step is to look closely with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check the mint mark, examine the lettering, the date, and look for anything unusual. Does the design look doubled? Is the coin slightly off-center? Is there any mirroring or brockage effect? Check the rim. Does it look normal, or is there a clip or cut? Is the metal color or weight unusual? These are all clues. Once you think you've found something out of the ordinary, the next step is to get it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These services can not only confirm the error but will also assign a grade, which is critical for resale and valuation. Today, you're in for an eye-opening journey into the hidden world of modern coin collecting. We are diving deep into the story of a seemingly ordinary dime, a 2022p Roosevelt dime from the United States, that turned out to be worth an eye-watering $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 10-cent coin that sold for a fortune, thanks to a combination of mint errors, anomalies, and historical oddities that turned it from spare change into a millionaire's dream. Before we begin, take a second to look at the coins lying around your house, in your pockets, or resting in the cup holder of your car. There's a chance, however slim, that one of those coins could be hiding a secret. Because in the world of numismatics, even the smallest detail, the tiniest error, or the most obscure minting flaw can mean the difference between pocket change and priceless treasure. The 2022p Roosevelt dime might look like just another coin minted for circulation, but beneath its unassuming silver-colored surface lies a rare combination of factors that sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting community. This is the story of how a modern coin became one of the most coveted pieces of U.S. currency in recent history, and what exactly makes it so incredibly valuable. Let's start with some context. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American coinage since 1946, when it was first issued to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Over the decades, billions of these dimes have been produced by the U.S. Mint, so many, in fact, that they're almost invisible to the average person. But every once in a while, something unusual happens. A coin slips through the cracks of quality control. A planchet is flawed. A die is misaligned. A mint mark is mistakenly punched. And that's when a coin becomes more than just money, it becomes history, art, and mystery combined. The 2022p dime is a perfect storm of such events. It was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important mints in the United States. Philadelphia coins bear the P mint mark, and in the case of the 2022 Roosevelt dime, that little letter holds more weight than usual. It's not just the mint mark that makes this coin special, it's what went wrong during the minting process that turned heads across the numismatic world. This particular coin shows an extraordinary series of minting errors, so rare that they are almost never seen on a single piece. First, there's a major double die obverse, meaning the design on the front of the coin appears to be stamped twice, slightly offset, creating a ghost-like doubling effect. This error is most noticeable in the word liberty and the motto, "In God We Trust." Under magnification, the doubling is undeniable and extremely well defined. Double die errors can occur when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, but for such a dramatic and clear doubling to appear on a modern coin is exceedingly rare. Then there's the off-center strike. Normally, coins are struck squarely between two dies that imprint the obverse and reverse designs. But in the case of this error dime, the coin was misaligned during striking, resulting in part of the design missing or distorted. Around 10 to 15% of the design is shifted off-center, making the coin's round shape slightly lopsided and giving it a surreal, almost melted appearance. This is not only visually striking but also adds incredible value, as collectors seek out coins that show obvious and dramatic minting flaws. Another key error that rocketed the 2022 P dime into the numismatic spotlight is a broad strike error. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck outside the retaining collar that normally keeps it confined during minting. As a result, the coin spreads out wider than usual and loses its perfectly circular edge, sometimes appearing stretched or warped. In this particular coin's case, the broad strike effect gives it a larger than usual diameter and a warped, smooth rim, yet all the details remain crisp and clear, creating a fascinating contrast. And as if that wasn't enough, the coin also displays a significant cut error on the rim. A cut is a raised area on the coin caused by a piece of the die breaking off during minting. This results in a blank, raised lump of metal where there should be part of the design. On this coin, the cut occurs near the top edge on the obverse side, partially obscuring the word liberty. The presence of a cut not only adds uniqueness to the coin but also indicates a dramatic failure in the minting equipment, which is always of great interest to serious collectors. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the 2022 P dime is the anomaly found in the mint mark itself. Under extreme magnification, coin experts discovered what appears to be a repunched mint mark, a situation where the letter P has been stamped more than once, but not in perfect alignment. This kind of mint mark doubling is extremely rare in modern coinage, especially since today's mint marks are typically applied using advanced machinery with very low error rates. The presence of a repunched mint mark suggests a breakdown or anomaly in the automated process, a deviation that could indicate the coin was struck using outdated or damaged equipment, or during a transitional phase at the mint. All of these errors, each rare in their own right, appearing on a single coin, is almost unheard of. That's why when this particular 2022 P Roosevelt dime was discovered and authenticated by professional grading services, it caused a sensation. It wasn't long before collectors, investors, and even historians began scrambling to understand just how this coin came to be and why it had managed to survive the minting process, quality control, and circulation without being destroyed or melted down. When the coin was finally auctioned, it shattered expectations. Initial estimates placed its value in the tens of thousands, already a staggering figure for a modern dime. But as bidding wars erupted and news spread of its unique combination of errors, the price climbed rapidly. In the end, the coin sold for just over $2 million to a private collector who, according to reports, had been seeking such a piece for decades. So why would someone pay $2 million for a 10-cent coin? The answer lies in rarity, provenance, and the psychology of collecting. First, the rarity. There may be only one such coin in existence, making it a true one-of-a-kind item. Even if other 2022 dimes with errors are eventually found, the odds of another coin showing the same combination of a double die, off-center strike, broad strike, cut error, and repunched mint mark are astronomically low. Second, provenance. The coin was authenticated and graded by a top-tier numismatic authority, and its story has been covered extensively by media, adding to its mystique and appeal. Third, and perhaps most importantly, is the psychology of collecting itself. For many collectors, owning a piece of history, especially one that represents the perfect storm of minting errors, is worth any price. Let's also consider the historical context. The year 2022 was not an especially remarkable one for US coinage, but that makes the discovery of this error coin even more intriguing. It suggests that, even in an age of high-speed, computer-controlled minting processes, anomalies still occur. Human oversight, equipment failure, or sheer coincidence can still produce numismatic miracles. And that's what keeps the world of coin collecting so exciting. It's not just about money, it's about the stories that coins tell. Every coin has a journey, from the mint where it was created to the hands it passed through in daily life. And every once in a while, a coin defies all expectations and becomes something far greater than the sum of its parts. The discovery of the 2022 $2 million dime has had a ripple effect on the coin collecting community. More collectors are now examining their change, digging through rolls of dimes, and using microscopes to search for errors they might have previously overlooked. Dealers and collectors are paying closer attention to modern coins than ever before, hoping to uncover the next great discovery. Some experts have even predicted a resurgence in modern coin collecting, with renewed interest in coins from the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s, eras that had previously been considered too recent to hold much value. But this also raises important questions about the minting process and quality control at the US Mint. How did so many errors go unnoticed? Was this an isolated incident or a symptom of a larger issue? Are there more error coins like this waiting to be found? While the Mint has declined to comment on specific cases, it's clear that even in modern times, perfection is not always guaranteed. For collectors, this is both a cautionary tale and an invitation. It reminds us to always pay attention to detail, to trust our instincts, and to never assume that a coin is worthless just because it's modern or common-looking. It also teaches us the importance of education and community in the world of numismatics. The collector who found this coin didn't just stumble upon it by chance. They had the knowledge to recognize something unusual, the patience to examine it closely, and the foresight to have it authenticated and graded. So the next time you get change back from the store, don't toss those dimes aside. Take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasures might be staring back at you. Because as we've seen, even a 2022 Roosevelt dime can become a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, thanks to the right combination of errors, luck, and a keen eye. And if you're thinking about starting your own coin collecting journey, now is the perfect time. Whether you're new to the hobby or a seasoned pro, there's always something new to discover, something rare to find, and something valuable to see.